And we are in another game. Ooh, this hand looks very nice. And we're on the play. Cool. I think it's more likely that we want to turn one bolt than we want to turn one snare. The only time I could see us wanting to turn one snare is if they Simian Spirit Guide into Chalice of the Void. So we're going to lead on the foothills instead of the island. Basically is the reason that we're considering these two scenarios. If they don't do anything relevant, we'll just get a land tapped. I'm not too excited to slam Goyf on turn 2 because it is unlikely, unless they play a creature. If they play a creature, we're totally doing it because we're going to bolt the creature. Goyf's going to be a 2/3 or a 3/4 with bolt in the yard, and then it'll be bolt proof. I don't want my Goyf dying to a bolt. So if it's not bolt proof, we're probably not going to slam it. Our opponent is not a fan of the to your turn button. Very unfortunate for us. That or Xmage is lagging a little bit, but I think it's them. So we've got Goyf. Goyf is good. Hoots as our follow-up threat. Blood Crypt into what? Inquisition of Kozilek. Well, Goyf is probably gone. If it's not, it's the right size. Inquisition could be a lot of decks. Black-red 8-rack. Obzon. Well, not Obzon anymore. Jund. Black, red, white Mardu. That's the name of the deck. Not a lot of people play Mardu, but some people do. Death's Shadow was pretty much the first thing that came to my mind. Taking Goyf is a pretty good idea. We're going to fetch a Stomping Ground onto the battlefield tapped. Life totals are going to be super relevant, I think. If it's Death's Shadow. It's most likely Death's Shadow. Disrupting Shoal was not a good draw. We have creature land. I'm considering how easily we could enable this traverse, because if we can't, we should use it now. We can traverse for another island, would probably be the choice. That's just not too great. I think we just hold up the spell snare, but that seems bad too. We have land and creature. Instant isn't hard to get in there, but tribal and sorcery aren't exactly common in our deck. Yeah, we're going to use this now. Thin the deck a little bit. Make sure we don't have to do it later. I think we want double blue before double green. So that's what we're going to do. End step. They know about the spell snare, so they're not going to play into it. And we could theoretically shoal pitch snare if they have some sort of one drop that we really need to deal with. The main argument for getting the basic forest here would have been to play a big green threat and lightning bolt in the same turn, but it doesn't seem like they're on the kind of deck that lightning bolt is good against, so I think I'd rather get my blue mana. Delver's amazing. That's the card I want to see. Hopefully they don't have a lightning bolt. Oh, it could also be Grixis control. I totally neglected the possibility of Grixis. I apologize to any Grixis mages out there. We're just going to end step. That's the button we need so that we don't give up priority in case those few cards become relevant. Let's sort the hand a little bit. Well, we're trading land drops. We are down cards due to them being on the draw. That's a Tarfire. It is looking a lot like Death's Shadow. Now, if it is Death's Shadow, there's a decent chance I want to shoal a Death's Shadow. So we're going to let Delver bite the dust. Sometimes I like to go for shoal the Tarfire, hope that they have absolutely nothing in hand. But I don't think that's the play here. Are they going for Death's Shadow right now? They know about Bolt. Maybe they have a Street Wraith. Yeah, they have a Street Wraith. Do they have another Street Wraith? Because they know about our Lightning Bolt from their Inquisition. So this Death's Shadow will enter the battlefield as a 3/3. I think we should show it. Because if we let it enter the battlefield, and they do have pay alternative costs, this spell, if they have another Street Wraith, and we let the Death's Shadow enter the battlefield, this game's pretty much over. Since they know about our Lightning Bolt, I'm going to assume they played the Death's Shadow knowing they had a Street Wraith in hand, and they could sort of get us by tricking us into using the Lightning Bolt. There's the Street Wraith. They're trying to dig for another Death's Shadow, it looks like. Or maybe they just have a second. Yeah, they do. That's bad. And this bolt's probably going to end up going upstairs. On the bright side, they don't have good attacks right now, because we're about to slam a Hoots. Can I get a Delver? Second Hoots is not what we wanted to draw, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is be very considerate to our second Hooting Mandrills, instead of bluffing. The forest is becoming a lot more appealing. I'm not excited about any of these cards, unless Traverse, but we're delving a lot anyway, so the second Traverse doesn't seem likely. Most of the graveyard things I'm considering here are Snapcaster Mage, so I'll just take the things that cannot be Snapcaster Maged. Shoal isn't very relevant in that regard anyways, but hey, we could always Snap Traverse, get a Forest? Maybe? Realistically, if I draw a Snapcaster, I just want to Bolt Snap Bolt and hope that he takes 2 on his own. So, shoaling that Death's Shadow seems like it paid off. If he had 2 Death's Shadows, we would have been in trouble. That's a good point for Shoal. This is one of the probably only games I've played against Death's Shadow in which Shoal was better than Snare. Now, they shocked, so unless they have a collective brutality, they could be in some real trouble. Inquisition works almost as well. We're going to have a second Hooting Mandrills here on the way. It will make Snapcaster Mage worse, because casting this Hooting Mandrills necessitates that that Lightning Bolt enters the Exile zone. This is exciting. We don't play against Death's Shadow very often. I'm going to take all of this. I'm 90% sure that they have a follow-up fatty, because going to 2 against Drug Delver seems like a bad idea when they have a threat. Traverse for another Death's Shadow. So we're about to enter Chump Block mode, which is unfortunate. It is very unfortunate. We're still live. We didn't lose yet. Thoughtseize means we basically lost. I was really counting on playing the Hoots, having a Bolt or something. No, Bolt wouldn't help. That's a bad card to draw. Okay, we're in for some shit. We don't have good attacks. If we attack, we die. We are hoping that they don't draw Gorklan Rampager / Temur Battle Rage. Traverse is no longer an out because they went to combat. So we go to 3, and we need... I don't even know. We need Electrolyze plus. So, Thought Scour us. See what's up. That's not going to do it. Let's go to the next game. Unfortunately, we could not close that one. So, against Death's Shadow, I like Engineered Explosives. On the play, I think Blood Moon is likely to be quite good. Dismember, unfortunately, isn't great, because Death's Shadow gets pretty big pretty quickly. That game, it was a 5-5 for a time, so Dismember could have been at least okay. But I think generally it's going to be bad, and Goif usually just outgrows it. Maybe I'll play one. I'll leave in the one that was already there. Lightning Bolt and Tarfire aren't the best. Huntmaster is coming right in. Traverse probably is too, and I might even consider Reveler, but I don't think so. Let's bring it to the front of this pile. I want these. You'll notice a lot of... Can we extend this so that I can actually see the cards that are coming in? Thank you, Xmage. That's a lot of cards that aren't blue. Step 1 is to get rid of this Disrupting Jewel. Let's put the Bedlam Reveler here, because these are cards we're considering. Pyroclasm. Does it kill anything? They have Lingering Souls sometimes if they're on the white splash. And I don't expect a lot of artifacts or enchantments. Traverse, I'm considering to help us hit land drops, make Moon good, that kind of stuff. Vapor Snag's at least somewhat good. Thought Scour's gone. We do need to be at least somewhat aggressive, but they have a lot of removal. I'm also going to cut a Mandrills if we don't bring in the Reveler. If we do bring it in, we'll cut another 3. Graveyard Shenanigans must be balanced. Vapor Snag is at least okay, because it bounces fatties and they take 1. So sometimes it lets you get in under them. Simic Charm is good for very similar reasons. On the play, I think I like the counter spells we have here. I do want to drop some number of burn spells. Maybe no, I like the Snapcaster Mages. I think those are going to be good. 3 cards need to go. Do we want bolts or Tarfires? I think we want Tarfires. Growing Goif isn't particularly relevant. The main part here is that we can traverse, get a snap, get a Delver, which is very good if it survives, get a Hooting Mandrills, a Huntmaster. That's why we want Tarfire here. Goif, we aren't concerned with because they're going to make Goifs massive. So that's not a concern. One more card needs to leave. What's it going to be? They don't run too many targets for denial. We'll try it. We're going to run this, see how it goes. Hopefully we win. On the play again. This is good. We're going to go Island, Delver. They deal with that, we play a Goif. If they deal with that, we might play a Hoots. Maybe we'll Traverse. We'll find out. We are going to make them play quite a mid-rangey match. This is a very threat-dense hand. I like it a lot. Let's get going. Basic Island. We want Blood Moon to be good. Our life total is absolutely relevant. Not as relevant as theirs, but it is relevant. I'm gonna sort this hand. That's okay. Traverse is 1 part cantrip, 1 part land, so I like it being right in between there. And of course, threats. They have a bauble. Doesn't mean anything yet. Bloodstained Mire makes bauble a lot more relevant, but it looks like they definitely want a turn 1 play, as opposed to bauble to scry. That's good. That is very good. Goif is big. They had to Fatal Push Delver. I'm always happy when they Fatal Push Delver. That was weird. Better not be a... This was highlighted on our upkeep for a moment there, so I thought it was planning on skipping my turn. And that would have been pretty rude of Xmage to do. Let's shock and slam our 4-5. Maybe they have a 4-5 of their own, but hey. Gotta play out your threats. What they do have is a bauble. A lot of cycling going on from the Death's Shadow deck. Let's see. Inquisition, that is actually very good for us. Assuming the other card isn't Fatal Push. But in that scenario, they can't kill this and take Hoots. If this was a Thoughtseize, I'd be far more concerned about Fatal Push, because then we're running very close to empty. They don't have a lot of good things to take. They want to cut down on our threat density, which makes sense. If they don't have a Fatal Push, I'm going to be pretty happy to jam in with this Goyf. They might have a Death's Shadow. Sorcery hitting the bin makes Goyf a 5/6, so Goyf stock is really high right now. Unfortunately, they have 4 of their own in a deck with effectively fewer cards. Fetching tapped there is a little suspect. They're looking at our card now. I suppose they looked at their card previously. They played Bauble. They Inquisition, no, that was before. I'm trying to find out, because the way they did that suggests that they looked at their top card and they wanted to scry it away. So I kind of want to check. Looks like they looked at ours, so maybe they just wanted to fetch tapped. I don't know. Kind of weird. They draw, we draw. Everybody draws cards. People like to draw cards. It looks like we're going to be playing the Serum Visions. We are going to attack, even though it's going to make Death's Shadow pretty good. Unfortunately, not attacking is probably a bad idea. So we're going to do it. If we pull a land, we can slam Hoots. So that's something we want to do. That's not a land, but these are. I think we just leave both on top, because if we do want one, we can keep it. If we don't, we shuffle it away. Seems fine. Misty will be on top of Misty. Let's go to them. So they're at 11. Death's Shadow can be cast, which is a little bad for us. Just a little. If they have Liliana of the Veil, we're in trouble, but that's just a Goyf. Just a Goyf. No big deal. It's a 2-mana 5/6. We'll be fine. Okay, we're going to untap, play the Misty, and I think we get in there. I am, of course, very worried about Death's Shadow. However, I think we're in a bad position if we don't just constantly batter them. And we can theoretically leak the Shadow if they don't draw the good stuff, being another land. So we're going to get in. They should probably block. Both Goyfs are going to die, because I plan on playing Hoots. Actually, are they going to die? That might have just been a bad attack. Land, instant, artifact, sorcery. I can delve away Delver, and then both Goyfs die. I don't know if that's good for us, but it's what we're going to do. The question is, do we want to fetch now? I don't really want the 4th land unless we draw a Huntmaster, so I think fetching now is at the very least okay. We're going to get an island because it turns Snapcaster into a monster of a card. Not a monster card, this isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! And we're just going to delve things. Goyfs are gone. Hopefully we keep them off of threats with this mana leak. They are decently land light. It's entirely possible. I really hope it works. There's an argument to be made for not attacking there, playing the Hooting Mandrills and trying to go relatively wide. Going wide is probably the best strategy you can have against Death's Shadow, because they have far fewer threats, and they don't have many sources of trample, so you can go wide past them, and while you do that, you can kill them. So that's a good plan. Mana Leak just turned into hot garbage, so that's bad. Terminate, 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 please, maybe. Let me do something good with this card. Traverse Death's Shadow. Yes, yes please, do that, that's good. Okay, they traverse, they get their threat. I'm banking right now on them not having a discard spell. Because if they have a discard spell, I should have mana leaked the Traverse to keep the threat out of their hand. But if they don't have the discard spell, we mana leak the threat, and they have one fewer threat in the deck, which means that is upside. That's a Death's Shadow. Let's see it cast. The thing is, if you have the discard, you'd probably use it before playing the Traverse. I am very concerned. They're playing around Mana Leak. That's what they're doing. Maybe they're playing around Mana Leak? I don't know what they're doing. They ended up at post-combat. Maybe it's a misclick. This isn't paper magic. We can't know for sure. I could ask him, but I'm not going to. Land tapped. He just wanted to get his life total down a smidge. Get that shadow out of bolt range, but into Mana Leak range. Whew! This is a bit of an intense game. I don't think Mana Leak is going to be good anymore, so a land doesn't make me want to Snap Leak. We're going to hit them down to 5, but first we want to do this. They're going to get to see the top card, which I think is just going to be that Delver. That seems at least somewhat good. Snare's a really bad top deck, but it transforms Delver of Secrets, which could just straight up kill our opponent. So I think I want both of these. Snare goes on the bottom. They can look at our Delver all they want. This is going to go tapped. We're going to hit them. If they have a Death's Shadow, it's going to be massive. But they will take damage. So there's that. Whew. This is mighty intense, folks. Of course, if they had another Death's Shadow in their hand right now, it would be on the battlefield from that overgrown tomb. They do have plenty of ways of killing our Delver. Right now, I'm pretty much hoping to top deck a Lightning Bolt. Tarfire would also be adequate. It wouldn't kill them. Tarfire, Snap, Tarfire isn't game from this position, but it's at least something. They have a land. If they crack it, then Tarfire, Snap, Tarfire is good. I'm going to... Ooh, if that's Inquisition, if Mana Leak is irrelevant, because they can pay for it through pretty much anything, I'm going to play this Snapcaster, because that's probably what they're going to want to take. Gives us another body. We will pretend we want to flashback Serum Visions, because that's totally relevant. Gives us another thing to chump. Gives us something that can deal 2. That's a Death's Shadow. Question is, do I want to attack right now? I don't think I do. Especially because Temur Battle Rage is... Well, Temur Battle Rage isn't game if I play the Delver, so maybe I bash in with both? I think I just wait. Yeah, I wait. If I do bash in with both, then Temur Battle Rage is game. So, we're going to do that. Whew, this has been one intense game. Playing against Death's Shadow is a lot like playing against Burn. It is just full intensity the entire time. We're going to see how this goes. Hopefully it goes well for us and badly for them. Another land is not what they want to see, I don't think. It's notable that they have a second Overgrown Tomb. I don't think if you're splashing white you do that. I'm considering the possibility of us being straight up dead if they attack and have a Temur Battle Rage. Because that's one of their only outs, and I don't want our opponent to have outs. So, if they have Temur Battle Rage, and they fetch Shock, we're going to assume there's a 5th Shock in their graveyard. At the very least, they didn't attack. Thinking time over, folks. Thinking time over. They're just playing the Gore Clan Rampager. So they did have Trample, but Temur Battle Rage gives quite a bit more oomph, if you will. We are going to reveal that. Delver's gonna hit, and this is excellent. We have Goyf covered, so one of their best top decks is offline. We're gonna hit for 3. They can't block it. Gore Clan Rampager is on the battlefield and can no longer give guys trample. They have to kill Delver, so they need Tarfire. Kolagon's Command would be amazing because it would buy back a Death's Shadow. So Kolagon's Command is probably their best top deck. Death's Shadow is now on a 11/11, so I'm strongly considering blocking it. Wow. So if he does have Temur Battle Rage, Death's Shadow comes in for 22 trample. Hooting Mandrills and Snapcaster block 5 of it, so it doesn't matter. If he has Temur Battle Rage, we don't survive. So Temur Battle Rage is game regardlessly, we don't care about it anymore. We're not going to try to live through one. Now, if he has a Gore Clan Rampager, a second one, and we put Snapcaster in front of the Death Shadow, don't block with Hoots, we die. I think we chump and trade, but then if he has a kill spell, we probably lose, but if he has a kill spell, this might just be a bluff to try to get our last dude. I might just throw Hoots in front of the Death's Shadow. If he has a Gore Clan Rampager, we take 15. If he has any burn spell, we're pretty much dead anyway, so I think we do that. Let's see how it goes. What do you got, sir? I want to hold back the Snapcaster Mage in case he has a fatty, so that we can... No, that wouldn't help. I should have probably blocked with the Snapcaster Mage doing something as well. Because if he does have a fatty... Well, no, if he has a burn spell, then... If he has a Fatal Push. We survive Fatal Push. I forgot about that. If he cracks the fetch and uses a Gore Clan Rampager, we lose. Does he have a Gore Clan Rampager? Temur Battle Rage. We were dead anyways. GG's, opponent. GG's. Wait. I forgot we have Spell Snare. Forgot about my snare for a second. Oh. Well, we're going to say that we forgot the snare. When we head back in, I think this is still good. Maybe I drop a Mana Leak. The game goes long enough that it gets kind of bad. I think another Lightning Bolt could do us well. I think. I was really hoping for some extra burn that game. Submit. Let's tell our opponent that we forgot about the snare. Wow. So, I almost basically scooped that game, and that would have been quite bad. I would have been rather upset. Here we're looking at the tables. If you guys haven't seen Xmage before, this is what the lobby looks like, and the lobby's gone. Second there. Okay. Want to make sure our opponent is aware that we're not trying to be a dick when we say GG's, you're dead. This hand looks pretty good, actually. Inquisition is kind of bad against it. If he has a Thoughtseize, Huntmaster won't be sticking around, but we are very well set up to get a Blood Moon. So that's good. Go to us. That was an intense game, like I said. These are the kinds of games of Magic I enjoy. He's at 5 cards. Well, it ended so anticlimactically, I'm almost pissed off. But that was a really good game, so I think I'm still going to publish this one. So I hope you guys like that. That is going to be the last one for the week, because earlier I said I had work to do, and instead I played more Magic. So now we're going to have to play less Magic and do more work. I will see you guys later. Have a good one.